Hello guys, this time we're going to make a review about the Nintendo Switch, how it feels to play with, how the controllers are, the dock, the screen, the games, the extensions for it and so on. So let's start to talk about the Switch unit itself. The screen is a 6.2 inch 1280 by 720 LCD with 237 pixels per inch. When you dock it on the TV, you can get up to 1080p, although some games like Zelda lowers the resolutions for performance games, which is kind of bad, I guess, but looking at how thin it is and kind of small, I don't know how much they could have been able to fit in this small unit. So I guess it was a compromise, but I mean, I'm not really a Pix guy. It totally works for me. I don't have any complaints about it. The only problems, which kind of felt kind of bad, was when I was playing Zelda on the TV, and it was kind of laggy when you got into grassier areas with lots of grass moving around. But it wasn't for a long time, so it's not a huge deal. But if you want to have a high resolution when you're playing, you need to take this in consideration that when the other consoles like Xbox, PlayStation going maybe more towards the 4K, the Nintendo Switch won't be able to handle that. The memory in it, RAM memory is 4 gigs. The internal flash memory is 32 gigabyte, but you can expand it with a micro SD card, which you can see here. So, which is just hidden here under the kickstand. Works fairly well, but I mean, in my opinion, they could have made the memory in the unit itself bigger, because now they're kind of forcing you to buy a memory card to be able to, when you are buying more games, to be able to store them there. The Switch have stereo speakers, and I mean, the sound is very good on it. Nothing to complain. It can get very loud, and it's still quite detailed. So yeah, that's a big plus for the sound. Talking about the battery life, it has a 4310 milliamps, 3.7 volt lithium-ion battery, and playing, sure, it can get you through. I mean, playing Zelda. I average around like 2.5 hours. It can be a problem if you're going for long trips without any electricity around you. If you're going outside or maybe on a plane or something, you can bring a battery power bank, of course. But the problem here is, which I talked about in my previous video, that you need the charging port is down below, and when it's standing with its kickstand, there's no way to plug it in. So you need to think about that, either by like something that raises up, or you play it by holding it, of course. But it's kind of, I mean, it would have been much better if they had a port at the top, of course, or maybe here somewhere in the back. But it's also something you need to take in consideration. It's not the optimal placement for the charging. The console itself weighs about 297 grams or 10.5 ounces. I mean, I feel it feels very good in your hand. I haven't got tired even after playing like for hours with it. So I mean, it feels great. It feels compact enough. It doesn't feel flimsy or so. The unit itself. The only like problem is with the connected Joy-Cons. I mean, they are not 100% solid when it's attached. You can see it's a bit of wobble there on both sides, which is kind of worrying. I don't know how this will keep up with the time when you detach them and play a lot with it. I hope it's good. The Joy-Con itself detaches. You just press this button, slide it open, and it's a metal railing here, which you just slide it. Really easy to take it off and put it in. Slide it back in. Here, click. Same with this side, of course. The speakers are placed here, 2 in the front. Stereo sound, so nothing to complain about. Taking a closer look at just the unit itself, the console, USB-C charging port there. These are for when you're attaching it to the docking station. You see, so it will be able to line up when you're sliding it down. On the sides, the metal railings for Joy-Cons. The back, I guess these are for the fans to be able to blow out air or cooling. The kickstand, you just flip it open, it clicks in placement, and they have worked it quite a good way. So if you're taking it off by accident, if you want to put it back, just put it back there and click it with some force and it's back again. Very simple. I showed you before the SD card slot here to expand the memory. The Nintendo Switch logo, some words. The top, you also a bit of venting here for cooling it. You have the speaker or for your headphones to connect. The game card, just pop it open. I mean, this kind of feel a bit plasticky because you see, I don't know how many times this will, how long it will hold. It's just like plastic bending. And the game part, just click it out. There it is. Pop it back in. Very simple. When you're connecting it to the dock, you need to be quite careful because these plastic details that's sticking out here on the sides can cause scratches on the screen itself. So you need to be kind of careful when sliding it down. Kind of hold it against the back until it feels it's attached with a USB-C port down there. Once you do that, it instantly goes to your television screen. So, I mean, it's very flawless. You just put it down and it goes directly to your TV. Very smooth. And when you want to play handheld, just pop it back up. And you're good to go. When using the touchscreen, I mean, it feels great. It's really responsive, good click sound. It's great to use. You can zoom in. I mean, it's very smooth to use. So they managed to make a good screen. When looking at the Nintendo eShop, there's not many games at launch, unfortunately. So you're kind of limited what you have to play. Of course, Zelda is the biggest seller. You have Bomberman, Want to Switch, and I mean smaller kind of remakes games. And there's not many games coming soon either, so you have to wait for more of the games you see here coming soon. Mario Kart, big game of course. You have ARMS, kind of boxing game, Splatoon 2, and some other. So I mean, they could have been. We'll see the third-party games when they come, or if they will, because I think that will be a huge selling point when they come. At the moment, we don't have so much information of third-party games yet. FIFA will come, Skyrim, looking forward for that. We'll see how it could have been better when it launched, but I mean. So to sum up the problems, the screen can easily get scratched, so it kind of forces you to buy a screen protector. And since it is a touchscreen, not all people like to have the feel of a screen protector. So it's they kind of forces you, especially with the dock problem. I don't know if Nintendo is going to do anything about it. Maybe in the future they will update the dock to have like a cloth protection or something softer. But still, the screen is plastic, so it can get scratched easily. Another thing is with these Joy-Con straps, which you attach. You can put it in the wrong way. This is the correct way when you line it up. But they don't have any fail protection, so you can do this. Would have been better to use some kind of protection there, because when I did it, they nearly got stuck. But even if you put them on normally like this, they are super hard to get off. Sometimes they get stuck really hard, which is kind of bad. So I don't think this affects all the Joy-Cons, but I guess many people have this problem. So something to hope that Nintendo will fix. And again, the few titles when it comes to game at launch, there should have been much more games available, because once you play the Zelda, gone through it, you don't have so many options to have other games to play with. Considering everything, is it worth buying? I mean, the biggest sell point right now is the Zelda game, and it is really good. So, I mean, sure, that makes it kind of worth it a lot. But looking at the price point, here in Sweden, it's kind of expensive if you compare to Xbox and PlayStation 4. You get a lot more for the money buying those systems than you get with the Switch. But at the same time, this is kind of a different story where you can play it both on TV and take it with you outside. So that is also a huge selling point, that you can bring these AAA games outside when you're going flying, sitting at a bus, at school, in your bed, you just have it in front of you, play it. It's a really, really, really good selling point that you can take it with you. So I would kind of say that the price difference kind of is acceptable, since you're able to bring it with you. And also for the Nintendo games, of course, you have Super Mario, Mario Kart, Zelda, Splatoon, which kind of make it worth it, in my opinion. So if you've been looking at it, kind of wondering, should I buy it, should I not? If you want more games, I think you should wait till we'll see what more games are coming to the Switch. But if you're satisfied with Zelda, Mario, Splatoon, etc., you should buy it now. But I guess that sums it up for today. That was my review for the Nintendo Switch. Please let me know if you want me to feature any other games or about the Switch itself in future videos. So I will try to make it in the future, more in this upcoming time. I will try and make some playthrough with Zelda and kind of play it. It has to be when I'm playing it on the Switch, because I don't have a TV recording when I'm playing on a TV yet. So you'll have to do with this kind of look. Subscribe, of course, if you want to see more videos. Like it if you liked it, the video, and I will try to make one video per day. We'll see how that goes, but I've managed to do it almost a week now, so I'll try and keep it up. Please comment down below so we can get this community going, and I'll try and answer every question you have for me. I've seen some comments wanting me to have it in Swedish, but I think I'll stay with the English, so we can gain a bit more wider audience, because it's fun, to talk with each other with questions and everything. So yeah, thank you for today. Bye bye.